Hey everyone, pull up my page. I figured I'd just go live while I'm doing this one little thing. And this is a big transfer, but I'm just going to use a little section of the animals. And I see Facebook did the notification. And okay, click in here. Oops. Hey everyone. There we go. All right, so trying a little bit different with the camera. The tripod's kind of stuck right now, so hopefully you can see like what I'm doing. So my idea for this one is to use one of the little minis in the new French country minis to do like a home sweet farm. And I think I'm going to use that board, but first I'm going to cut out the animals from the farm charm one, because I just want to use like part of them on the edge, like it's one big farm family, and just see how that looks. So the great thing about the paste is if I don't like it, I'll just erase it and try something different. So you can keep changing things up however many times you want. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is cut up my transfer, and I'm going to try to be better about labeling the back of them. So the purpose of labeling the back of them is that when I go to stick them back in their backers, because they're reusable, I will pick the right backer. So horseshoe peg. And then this is the Farm Charm. And Farm Charm is an entire collection that they have, where it's got like Life is Better in the Country. It's got the ones with the farm animals. There's the farmhouse tile. There's just like a series of ones that you can all easily mix and match. You can mix and match any transfers together. Like the Farm Charm one, people take out the word just farm. Or sometimes they take out just charm, or just take out the little leaf in between them. So just feel free to like mix and match however much you want. There we go. All right, so I'm not going to use the Farm Charm one tonight, but I am going to use each of the animals. So I'm just going to cut them out. And each animal has a different kind of pattern at the bottom of them, as if they're standing in front of something. Like, kind of looks like the horse is standing in front of leaves or something, or hay. The sheep's the one that's got the weird pattern that's more of like a farmhouse tile almost. Okay, so ideally, if I can get it to fit, I'm going to try to stick like where their heads are in for each side, showing that they're a little farm family. So let's see how this turns out. I'm going to grab my towel, fuzzing cloth. These ones, since I haven't used them yet, the animals are going to be super sticky. So I'm going to go, hey Tammy. Oh, it's actually not a replay. It's a, you got me live. Hope you're having fun with your new kit. I remember when I got mine and like I couldn't stop playing with the stuff. It's like, oh, let me try this. Let me try this. And then I watch other people's videos and like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. There's so many different things you can do with them. I'm going to start with the Home Sweet Home. And I'm just going to do that in the tulip because it'll be nice and bold and stand out. When you get your foam seals, keep them like in the lid. You can use a piece of glue. You can use a little glue to tack them down. I haven't yet. But keep them in there. It'll help keep them fresher longer. And move the piece out the way. Oh, no, I'm doing this one, and then if you missed that one or didn't hit the replay on the live one that Brittany does every Wednesday, I think her live is still going. But you can always catch that in the replay too. That's where she goes over for all the newbies. I know. It's awesome. There's so many different supplies, and Dollar Tree is a great place to go get stuff that you can like paint and use. especially for seasons. You can add flowers to things and rope, and I don't know about your Dollar Trees out that way, but ours have like so many more craft supplies now, even like little chalkboards that are not quite as big as the 5x7 one. Okay, so that's good. Alright, so I'm just going to peel it up slowly and evenly on each side. I know, but the great thing about Dollar Tree is I can go in and it's like a shopping spree compared to all the other stores. And I was like, oh, I'm going on Dollar Tree shopping spree. Okay, so I've got the Home Sweet Farm to start. Oh, and I used to have the camera over there. Hopefully you can see that okay. All right, now I'm not sure if I'm going to use that color anymore. But I'm going to do the animals in different colors. So I really only need to fuzz up part of it, but that's probably what I'll do. So I'm going to use the backer a little bit, because I know I'm going to use less than half of the animals. Right, so, oops, get my air bubbles out. So I'm just fuzzing up half of it, basically. Hey, everyone. Yeah, and the projects that you can do are quick and easy, aren't they? So you can knock out like a ton of them in no time at all. All right, so I'm just gonna have the little horse's head sticking in. And then let me get the cow going on the other side, because I'm going to do like a little blending of colors. I'll show you like the messy technique. Hey, Melissa. This is my idea for the Divas one that I'm going to submit. Yeah, we have until midnight to submit. Different groups that we're in, if you're a designer, we'll kind of have like, almost like little competitions where, you know, it's kind of like a challenge to like think outside the box and be creative. So our challenge this time was to use the 5 new colors that just came out, the En Vogue colors. So the Splash, the Tulip, Pistachio, Golden Hour, and the Shimmer Melon, and the Shimmer Splash. Let me see. To use those, we'll use at least 3 of those with any of the transfers from the new collection. And these are actually both the French Country Minis is where I got the Home Sweet Farm, and then the Farm Charm Seasize one is where I've got these animals. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to blend a couple colors together. I'm just going to decide which ones I'm going to blend together. So I've got my tulip. Keep in mind that the darker color, so if I put these 2 colors together, the darker tulip is going to overwhelm the yellow, the golden hour. So you want to make sure you have more of your lighter than your darker, unless you want it to be really dark, because it is going to overwhelm it. But I'm going to do a little bit of tulip and a little bit of golden hour. These are all new paste formulas, so you don't really have to stir them up or anything. I am going to use a stir stick because I'm going to put, yeah, I have until midnight to get it in. I completely forgot about it until yesterday. And so I was like thinking about it on and off all day, like what I wanted to do. So I came home and I went through the catalog, which we call an idea book, just like, okay, which are the new transfers, and, you know, just kind of like thinking outside the box of what I wanted to do. So I'm just going to put little gobs, basically, of golden hour on, and then I'm going to take another stir stick and put on some gobs of the tulip. And then I'm going to use my squeegee to kind of mix them together. You can use a stir stick. You can also use your finger if you want. Stick your finger right in there and just put little dots. I'm going to use my finger to stir them up. Blend them together, and then I'll use the squeegee to like pull it off at the end. But for anybody who had the old paste formula, you can see the new one is like perfect. It's just, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like, it's just, it's like, 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 it's like Awesome. I'm just putting little drops down. Be careful when you're doing multiple colors that if you go to stick something back in the jar that you're not blending the colors by mistake. Okay, so that should be pretty good. I didn't touch my colors. So I'm just gonna grab my, here we go. I'm getting a little mini squeegee. And I'm just going to use my finger to mix them together. And with my finger, I can use different fingers if I see that the red is starting to overwhelm it. Which he is in sections. And then just wipe off my fingers. Okay, so I think I'm going to add a little bit more yellow, just because the red is really overtaking it down there. And just try to put that on top of some of the red. Probably should have used a little less tulip, which I did on the horse. So I used more yellow than the tulip. Now I'm just going to squeegee off the excess from what I just put on there. And I'm going right to the edge of the board, so there we go. Alright, and I'm going to do the same thing over here on this side. And do need a little something to put this on. I'm just going to use the back of the squeegee, because I might need that to fill in some spots. If you're mixing colors together, you don't want to put it back in the jar, but you also want to, so if you way over mix something when you're mixing colors together, you can always store it in a little jar. You can get like 8 of these for $1 at the dollar store. Okay, so let's pull it off and see how they look. Oh, that came out kind of cool. I like it. So it gives you not quite a tie-dye look, not quite a camouflage look, like a little bit in between. Let me pull up this one. And I'm just going to get a little bit on the edge. So as you're pulling it up, if you see any areas you missed, and there's one, I had missed one little area over here where it didn't quite go all the way to the edge of the chalkboard. So I wanted to make sure I got that. And then I'm just putting them sticky side up in a water bucket so I can wash them afterwards. All right, so that worked out pretty good. What do you guys think? So you can kind of see, oh sorry, you can kind of, one of those birds was a little bit blocked when I was doing it, it looks like on the camera. Yeah, if you can hit like or share or comment, that would be great. Okay, take a look. And then, so now I'm going to do the other two animals, which is the little pig and cow, to have them putting their heads in. But I'm going to toss this stuff, the sticks and the squeegees that I used in my water bucket, because I'm not going to use yellow and tulip, or the golden hour yellow and tulip. I'm going to use 2 other colors. So I'm gonna take the green pistachio, which I love, and then I'm trying to decide if I want to use the shimmer splash with it. I've also got the shimmer melon, and then I'm wondering if I should mix the greens together. That might be a little too green. I think I'll do the shimmer splash and pistachio. In my water bucket, I'll show you. It's just water. You only need water. You can just spray it down without having it putting it in a water bucket, but so like it's just a bucket of water. There's nothing else in it. And I just, at the end, I'll go through and clean everything that I've tossed into it while I've been doing it. But you don't need soap or anything like that at all. Just put it in the bucket. A lot of times if I'm doing a big project, If I'm doing it in the kitchen, I can just go to the sink and wash it and leave them out to dry afterwards. But I'll show you when I'm cleaning them afterwards. So I've got these two. Now I'm going to put my little sheep and piggy. I'm going to do the same kind of thing, where I'm leaving part of it on the backer. Just because then otherwise it's really going to stick to my desk, because I'm only using a small section of it. And the first time you fuzz a transfer, you're probably going to have to fuzz it like 5 or 6 times. I'm just going to have this guy looking up a little bit. I'm going to need a little bit more of him, I think. Oh, I'm going to end up fuzzing the whole thing. I can see that now. Yeah, and I just got this water bucket. I just got it at the Dollar Tree. I just went in the little kitchen section, grabbed a cheap one, because it's just easy. But you really can use anything like that. Okay. So I'm going a little bit more with the sheep, because when I put the base on, I'm going to cover up maybe a little bit of the bottom of the sheep's feet. So we'll see how that looks. He's invading the space a little more than everybody else is, I guess. Okay, so I've got this excess. And get my stuff out the way. Yeah, so usually when I'm doing it, it usually doesn't sit in the water bucket for more than an hour. Because usually I'm doing one, and then usually I want to clean out the bucket, or you can wash it while it's in the bucket, especially if you have a big area where you've used a lot of chalk paste on it. Like the bunnies are a really big solid mesh area, because they don't have a design on them, they have a layering one. With that, you can wash that in the bucket, but then you'll notice if you used a color like black, or like the dark blue, or even the tulip or the dark green, you'll notice that comes off in the bucket and it's sitting in that water. So that you'll want to empty the water before you clean more. But that's why you just I got this bottle at the Dollar Tree too to start off. And then I upgraded to my little Chalk Couture one, which is really great. But I use my designer dollars. You get designer dollars for different stuff that you do. And especially Tammy, with your designer debut for the first 3 months. So for April, May, and June for you, you can earn designer dollars, and you can earn pretty much enough to pay for your starter kit. So it's possible to earn $100 in that. I was able to earn that, so I got the money from my starter kit back by completing that. And I just finished it. Well, today's my last day for my starter kit. So as of today, I officially have finished my designer debut. Okay, so I'm going to do a similar thing. Yeah, feel free to shout out any questions that you guys have, or hit like or heart or anything that I'm doing. I'm going to grab some stir sticks again. We used to have to use the stir sticks to stir up the older paste. If you can see, if my green is the older formula, where it looks a little bit lumpy, that's okay. It's not hurting anything. Think of it like cake batter or brownie batter. Just stir it up. Big lumps are bad. Little lumps are fine. But the new stuff doesn't have any lumps in it at all. It is perfectly creamy, like Cool Whip, honestly. So I'm going to put the shimmers, in case you don't know, the shimmers have a really fine glitter in them. So the only thing about that is when you're cleaning it off, likely you're going to get glitter on your, whatever you're using to clean it off, whether it's a, it could be a washcloth, the towel, the little eraser, which does happen. I've got glitter on my eraser from cleaning them off. It's not going to hurt anything. You just want to make sure that your silk mesh screen area is clear. And let's see, so I'm just going to try to, I'm spreading it a little bit with my finger. I don't want the blue to overwhelm it too much. And I'm trying to make sure, it's hard to see when you get right to the edge of the chalkboard. The normal design, I'm using multiple designs on this. That's why I'm going right to the edge of the chalkboard. Normally you don't. Okay. A little excess there. Yeah, there's tons of different techniques you can use and just play around. There's really no wrong way to do it. If you do something you're like, I don't like that, just erase it. Reusable surfaces, so you can just erase it. The chalk chips are great to start with because you can just play around with all different kinds of things. Okay, so sheep's a little bit blue-gray. That's all right. Now I gotta get the piggy in there. Maybe I'll have the pig looking down from the top. Hopefully. So I'm just fuzzing it up. Okay. So I'm gonna have him looking down this way. He's being a little nosy. Maybe more of the back though. So I'm not rubbing the whole thing down because I don't want it to get too stuck on the areas that I've already done. If that were to happen, it could potentially pull it up when I pull it up. Okay, so I'm going to put part of the glob that I just had down, and then I'm just going to reach in and grab some more. Alright, so, hey, hi out there everyone. So I am trying to make sure I got it covered, and using my finger I can feel around the edge a little bit better. Make sure I got it good. So I'll pull this up and see how it looks. That came out pretty good. Alright, so it's still going to take a little while to dry. We just have like a little farm family. So hopefully you can see it. It's kind of, Facebook has like a really delay on it, so I know it's like hard to see. I'm getting a little bit of glare too from the lights. So hopefully, sometimes it's easier to see the colors down this far where it's not as close to the glare, but you can't see the detail as much. So I think that's it, that I'm done. Kind of like how the cow and the pig came out better on this side than the sheep and the horse. Not sure why. I think I got their bodies in it a little bit more. Yeah, so this will be my submission for the group. And then actually, since I have the chalk markers, I'm going to go ahead and write on that as well. So, find my chalk marker. There it is. All right. I don't know if that's too much. I'm going to leave it. All right. So that's what I was going to do tonight. Thanks for tuning in. If you can hit like or share or comment, that's great. I really don't know, unless you do one of those things, I have no idea that you're out there or watching the video or kind of on a replay. So just even if you see it like the next day, just go ahead and hit like, or even comment or something so that I know. I'm not going to reach out to you or anything like that. It's just good to know if people like the designs or not, or if there's something they want to see, where like you want to see more stuff with animals, you want to see more farm stuff, you want to see a tractor, you want to see, I do have the trucks that I'm probably going to be doing next, because in my homemade stencils, I made some muddy tire tracks when I was doing the logos and stuff for Mason's YouTube channel. So I think that'll be kind of neat. And I've got the Wild and Free, which was the club transfer for this month, and today's the last day to sign up for the club and get this month's transfer, which was, I'll show you this one that I did the other night. It finally dried. So that's where I did the Wild and Free, and I broke it up into 3 pieces of wood instead of one big sign. So I think I might do a little something with the Wild and Free in the truck and some muddy truck tires. That'll probably be my next project. I did say that I was going to show you guys how to clean the transfers. So I'm just going to stick this in here. And show you how to clean one of the transfers. So I just like pick it up out of the water because I've put it in there sticky side up. Just basically let it drip off any of the water. Do the texture, there's a textured side and a sticky side. So I do the textured side first, and I just spray it down. I put my eraser in the bucket just so that it's wet and it's not dry. Eraser, when I first started, I just used a washcloth, an old washcloth. That's all you really need to use. If you have like a magic eraser, like one of the level 1 ones that you can get at Dollar Tree, not one of the 4x1 that has like soap and stuff in it. You do not need any soap at all, just plain water. If you're ever putting water in the jars, you want to make sure it's distilled water or bottled water. But when you're cleaning the transfers, you can just use regular tap water. Like if you can hear the squeaking, squeaking is good. Squeaking means it's getting the stickiness back on it because I dulled it on the towel to start with. So squeaky is a good sound that you want to hear. And then I just lay it sticky side up to dry, and probably in about 15 minutes or so, I'll be able to then put the backer back on it. And I labeled the one, so this was the sheep one. So I'll just look until I find the one for the pig and then stick it right back on this backer. Oh, cool. Yeah, and there is some ink coming in the I sent you like a little sample thing of ink in the package that I sent you this week. So you'll be able to use at least part of that. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, and I'll just wait for my transfers to dry and put them back on. And if anybody has any questions, you can message me or just comment them on here, because anytime anybody makes a comment, it pops up on my feed for me to look at it because it's the business page. All right, night everybody. I'm sorry that it said it might snow tomorrow. For the people that are up here, sorry. I was not happy to see it pouring rain when we got out of work today because it was not this morning. All right, night guys. Coffee, I was like, I knew what you meant when you said coffee, but there is also coffee transfers too. Okay, bye guys.